Hey guys, so this is one of our uncut video podcasts. All one giant take. It's meant to just be, listened to. We'll figure out one day how to put our shit on iTunes and Spotify and all that. This is probably the most fun podcast we've ever filmed. Very early on, we have a boom mic that is separate from the mics we're speaking into that starts falling into frame, and it happens really early on and becomes a little bit that we start playing off of. But yeah, we recorded this on 420, so it could explain why we missed a couple of things, but this is one of the most fun podcasts we've ever done, so hopefully you guys enjoy. Feel free to chime in on the comments on what your dream Avengers team would be. Enjoy.
Hello there, Reject Nation. I'm Greg Alba.
And I'm John Humphrey.
We are going to do a special video podcast today. One of our top reward tiers at Patreon. YouTubers with patron pages. I don't get tired of hearing about people talk about it.
Never.
So I love talking about it. Top reward tier, whatever video you're requesting us do and put up on YouTube. And today is a very different kind of podcast. So this is basically, where's the screenshot here that we took? This is from Chris Malieu, who has an awesome content on the internet.
He's got one awesome content, and you all guys need to go view it and engage with it.
He was saying, I was thinking for this month, and now that you two have those mics, I'd like to see both of you each pitch your dream team Avengers lineup. I'd say limit it to a team of 6 each. Ooh, that changes it. And you can pull from, I thought it was 5 for some reason, and you could pull from any Marvel character that had been on the big screen or in a live action TV show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got
so
caveats and all.
Like he's had examples, so he's even including Tom Hardy's Venom and like Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool. So anything Marvel related basically is what they're going for here.
Any live action MCU character thus far.
So, okay, and if you guys even want to get a little movie fights inspired, argue whose team would win in a fight. John, why don't you...
We haven't had 2 days to write up several notes for that.
Sometimes you don't even get 2 days.
I know, or a half a day.
So, John, why don't you go pitch your team? I came up with mine pretty quick.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I haven't written any notes on it. I just have I got a very basic idea. Let's see what comes out of my noggin.
I got a basic idea too, and I kind of organized it with a specific reason in mind for why I chose each particular character.
Okay.
And I wanted to not only choose dudes, so for some of these I have alternate characters, but
Feminism ruining this country.
Anyway, the leader of my personal Avengers team is Spider-Man a la, Sam Raimi's films, because that is still my favorite Spider-Man. And I think that if you set, my Avengers universe after the events of Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, he is the Spider-Man on the big screen that has the most kind of battle-tested emotional maturity, as well as, all the other physical combat stuff and, the principle and everything. So I feel like he would be a great leader. Then my second in command, or my second and third, my other sort of 2 left and right-hand advisor types would first be Rogue, because I think her power would be really beneficial. She can, take other people's powers and stuff and absorb them, and she's got other things as well. But, and I think she would, especially with what she's had to overcome as a character over time, if you don't count Last Stand, is pretty great and something that, an Avengers team could benefit from. Then my other sort of, right, left-hand character would either be Storm or Doctor Strange, because I would want somebody with some kind of very huge level of power. Storm, obviously is one of the most powerful X-Men characters. She can control the weather and, the atmosphere. She has, an emotional connection with those things, which I also think is really cool. And I think somebody with that level of emotion on the team would be interesting. Or Doctor Strange, who has, the magic and the realm hopping edge. I think he would be a terrific asset to the team. Then just for a more tactical side of things, I would want Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
Because Nightcrawler, you could break in, you can do stealth because he can hide in the shadows.
Why don't you talk to the camera?
Don't look at my paper right now.
I'm just trying to keep up all the characters you have.
Okay.
So you have Spider-Man right now, Rogue, Storm
or Doctor Strange, Nightcrawler.
Couldn't make a decision.
Then Ant-Man or the Wasp, which is really easy because that would be like the same thing.
John, you talk to the camera while I talk.
All right.
Take care of this cat problem.
And so for tactical, I thought Ant-Man or the Wasp. You can interchange those two. Jesus Christ! Anyway, Ant-Man or the Wasp, because they have the benefit of growing and shrinking both, all kind of have similar powers in a lot of ways, and you have the knowledge of the quantum realm, which would be a great, again, asset to have to your team. And then the last, the sixth spot, I thought should be somebody who's down on the street level who is capable of helping the people. My ideal choice for that would be Luke Cage from the TV show. And I think he would be great because, obviously he's got, unbreakable skin and all that stuff. And so he would be great to help civilians out and to, do a lot of, like physical combat and stuff like that. And a lot of them can. Or Jessica Jones, I thought, could be another sort of good on the street person because she too has heightened strength and agility and healing and all that stuff. So, so these would be my ideal sort of main picks here. There are a couple others who I considered, but ultimately I left on the cutting room floor of this hypothetical.
Who are they fighting?
Who are they fighting?
Who are they versing? I mean, you have a team, but who are they versing?
Galactus. It's a crossover.
Who's Galactus?
From the DC universe.
What does he do?
He swallows worlds and stuff.
Is that all he does?
No, he
does
doesn't.
Power. He just goes around.
Well, he's all powerful. He's cosmic and stuff. I don't have time to get into it now. I want to hear your team.
Oh, way to pivot.
I didn't have to pick.
Hillary
There was
Clinton
nothing in this
here.
question that told me I was supposed to pick a villain.
And that's how you lose on movie fights, people. You don't prepare your story.
The villain is toxic fandom, because this is going to be a sci-fi, even more sci-fi, where the Avengers have been ripped out of the movie world into our world, and they have to acclimate.
Oh, so it's like Last Action Hero.
Yeah, exactly. But with the Avengers.
Who would direct your film?
John McTiernan, of course. Get him out of jail or wherever he's at.
McTiernan.
Or would it be Paul Verhoeven? Did they both go to jail?
That's awesome.
I don't know. Yeah.
Dude, that's really cool.
Thanks, man. I knew you would love it.
If you were on movie fights, that would be the perfect. My movie is not a movie fights argument. my movie, I figured, okay, look, if this was, because I'm only talking about movie fights because Chris brought it up himself. Yeah. And I know I've been on movie fights several times, and I take my pitch, I really think about my pitches, and I thought, like, okay, well, I'm not on movie fights. It's the Real Rejects. Let's just,
so you can have fun.
I just want to have fun. and I did always have a joke idea that I have now turned into what the Child's Play remake trailer is like, where it's like, what was a funny joke? I'm going to now serious it the shit out of it. Okay, right? Take
3 Howards the Duck.
No.
2 Deadpools, half a Wolverine, and half a Captain America.
My idea that came to me really quick is when I thought of the team I'd want, and then I thought of how I've always loved I've read it one time, and this was years ago when I read it. And it's such a short story, but my idea is basically inspired by the fragments of memory I have from the comic book of Punisher Kills the Marvel Universe.
Ooh, yeah.
Because I've always thought, like, oh, when Marvel when this timeline is ending, when they get to a point where no one can keep up with this shit anymore,
dude, Phase 7.
We're 60 movies down the road. No one's like, I don't want to go back 50 movies to start this.
Yeah.
When they're like, we got to do a total reboot. We got to just start right from the beginning again if we want to keep Marvel alive. I thought it'd be cool to do like Punisher Kills the Marvel Universe, but I thought, all right, but now I'm in this like rules and limitations because of the team of characters you're dealing with here.
But you do get one extra.
Yeah. So basically, what I thought of this, it would be a 2-parter. Where what I remember in the comic book, and feel free to correct me because, like I said, one time forever ago, I was looking for it, but then I remembered that I already put it in a box because we're packing and getting ready to move. So, and I'm sure I could. What?
Really?
Yeah,
we're packing.
We're moving out. I don't think you forgot about that.
That's what these boxes are for. Interesting.
I thought I was just becoming a hoarder again.
No.
So my first movie would be where. Punisher. I haven't finished season 2, so I don't know where we left off with Frank Castle. But
he kills the Marvel Universe in season 2. Yeah.
Frank Castle is now He's remarried and he has kids. Okay, he's got it all. Right. So he's remarried. He has kids.
Oh no!
And then it like in Punisher kills. This is the first movie. Like in Punisher kills the Marvel Universe. His family gets caught in a crossfire between heroes and villains, and they all die, and he blames the heroes, right? Yeah. So in this, what I remembered being like a 10-page comic, it's much longer than that, but it's surprisingly short and wildly entertaining. Okay. So basically in the story of part one, because I want to get to part two right away. So in part one,
why do the first movie?
He ends up just zooming through all the Marvel heroes, right? He just ends up killing everyone, and by the end of it, he manages to get like all these people in the same room. All these people in the same room or something. I remember something like that happens in the comic, and he basically like eventually nukes them all, and then bam, he kills everyone. Okay. And then in part two, this is the Dream Team movie. You have now 6 characters left standing, and they're no one with superpowers. Yes. All right, that's my whole team.
Coulson.
Because you really elevate the stakes. If he kills all these people with superpowers, and the only heroes you have left are the people without superpowers, then you're really fucked, right? Yeah. So the leader of my team is the one person with some powers, but he doesn't have super speed. He doesn't have super strength. He can't fly. He can't turn invisible. It's Daredevil. Daredevil's the lead of it. He's the only one with some slight superpowers. The enhanced hearing, the enhanced all the enhanced senses, right? That enhanced sense of touch is really going to come in handy in this movie. Actually,
yeah, because you're gonna have to feel.
He's gonna touch so many things to make sure to do the mission, right? And I thought I kept my phone off of lock. Okay, then of course the second character, you gotta get Hawkeye or Ronan wherever he's left off at this stage in it. And then the third character would be Black Widow. And I feel like Hawkeye, because you still get the variety in a way, and I think it's always cooler, especially if you're on something like movie fights, to pitch like your wide variety of superpowers, right? And I got a wide variety of skills here. It's like my team, okay? So Hawkeye and Black Widow both have military background that could go up against Frank Castle pretty well. They kind of try to get into his mindset, and then you also have a Okoye and. Because I imagine the nuke thing happened near the East Coast when they got everyone together. You have Okoye, or maybe in Wakanda. I don't know. I'm spitballing this. Okoye and Shuri. Okay. Because then you got your science. So you got the person with the spear. You got the person with the bow and arrow. You got Black Widow, who scissors your neck. And then you have Shuri, who's the person, the inventor and stuff, can help him track stuff. And I think that's all my characters, right? My last one, just for fun, because it doesn't fit. And he doesn't really fit in. Star-Lord. Because he's part of the Guardians of the Galaxy, but he doesn't have any superpowers.
That's true. He's just good at like zipping around on jetpacks and shooting people.
Because didn't he relinquish all that at the end of Guardians too?
Yeah, I think so.
Otherwise, if he had superpowers like Ego, really could have come in handy against Thanos.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, instead he just pew, 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 I got guns,
Oh man, I love your idea. I want to see that movie.
So yeah, and it's these guys left standing, and then of course Daredevil has a very personal relationship with our main villain. Because he thought that Punisher might have been going down a good path because, he had his own 2 seasons on Netflix.
Yes, of course.
And he defended him on trial, like Frank Castle.
And he understands his place in the world,
Yeah, but this is like something where a long time ago he should have killed Punisher.
Yeah.
And now Punisher's killed everyone. Because what I imagine of how this can sort of go down, and I'm totally just going off the top of my head here, I imagine this could totally go down, is maybe something along the lines of Punisher breaks out Kingpin because Kingpin is able, because I know I haven't seen season 3 of Daredevil, but basically he apparently owns everything in the government. Okay. It's kind of really outlandish, like all the
Kingpin
FBI,
owns all of the government.
Homeland Security, and CIA. So he basically has powers over. I don't know if that's how it all is there, but that's what it starts to feel like. So he uses him to be able to find out where everyone is because he can't go to like Black Widow or something, But then by the end of maybe part 1 or at the beginning of part 2, he even kills Kingpin because now he has no use for him.
Ooh.
Yeah, so one by one throughout my movie, Punisher slowly kills them all off, and then Punisher kills everyone and eventually just kills himself. So there's my
Most nihilistic Marvel movie ever.
I know my idea would never happen. My idea is you'll never see it in a million.
I want it to happen.
Your idea is a million times more likely than mine. My idea ain't ever gonna happen.
I don't know. I mean, I just chose characters that I like and thought would also be smart, but I really love the whimsical, just hyper violent, super bleak, nihilistic one-off that you've come up with here. That's 2 movies. Like, I see, the thing is, I want to live on the timeline where those get financed.
You see, it's like I feel like all of my characters can have a one-on-one fight with Punisher in it.
Yeah.
If I were to take my idea seriously, he would have you could see Okoye working up against him. And
who is it again? It's Okoye,
it's Okoye, Shuri, Hawkeye, Black Widow, Daredevil, and Star-Lord. And Star-Lord will bring the humor to it, and then he's the major all is lost moment.
Nice when he like screws everything up for everybody.
There's a lot of all is lost moments. Yeah, they had Punisher.
Well, yeah,
take his assault rifle away.
Every scene is an all is lost moment for just a different character who's about to die.
Yeah,
and
because so like similar to Infinity War, Punisher's really the main character in part 1, and then in part 2. It's all these guys who the misfit Avengers I have.
It's got to be like a Devil's Reject sort of thing where in the first half, you feel for the Punisher and you're like, oh man, these people have destroyed your second family.
Yeah.
And but then partway through that movie, you start
so funny about it.
It's like this happened again.
Stop having a family.
It's like, and I love that because that also kind of to me pokes fun at like the John McClanes of the cinematic landscape, where it's like, how many times is this gonna happen? So like I love the whimsy of the second family. But you could spend the whole first movie being like, I get this guy, and then the more violent he becomes, you're like, oh, I don't know if I get this guy, and then it's like the Devil's Rejects, where in the second half you're like, well, I hope the heroes get away or something, and then it all comes down to the end, and then the Punisher wins and he kills himself, and then we all go home sad.
Then we reboot the whole thing,
and then we're like, I think we're done with comic book movies now. Thank you, Quentin Tarantino.
But come on, man, let's talk more about your idea.
My idea?
Give us a story, a little story. Come on, John, you have more improv experience than I do.
A little story? I mean, the thing is, I don't know. I think...
Tell me about their dynamics.
Their dynamics together. Okay.
What are the things we want to see in an Avengers movie?
We want to see them bicker, but ultimately learn how to work together as a team. I feel like that's always what partially happens, is something comes in to rile them all up and get them all distrusting of each other. And between all these different characters, it would have to be something very personal. So like it would have to be that... maybe Doctor Strange, or maybe somebody hooked up with somebody else, and because Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, you got to have that relationship angle. You got to have there be some kind of romantic tension, and there's also got to be tension with his best friend Doctor Strange. Because I forget. Is Storm like a scientist in regular life when she's not being? I mean, I know she teaches at the X-Men Academy.
I don't know what she teaches.
Have scientific...
I don't know what any of them teach at the X-Men Academy.
Well, either way, I feel like...
I remember one image of Cyclops showing them his bike.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you teaching?
Yeah. These sounded be cool.
They're like 13-year-old kids, right?
In one of those center spread, I forget what those kinds of panels are drawn, but one of those 2-page spreads, I feel like Spider-Man would be really into like being chummy with either Storm or Doctor Strange, because they have like either meteorological or just scientific expertise. I feel like Nightcrawler would be the kind of like remote one of the group, because he likes to hide in the shadows. He's used to the circus life and stuff like that.
Who would he interact with the most?
He would probably interact the most with Rogue, because Rogue understands what it's like to feel like such an outsider and a pariah. and to have kind of even though she is a normal looking woman, he is a strange looking guy, and
Right.
you know, like his appearance has kept him from people, but her ability has kept her from people.
So do
too.
they hook up?
Yeah, they do.
Awesome.
They
I
do,
love that.
and they teleport while they're hooking up,
Oh,
like
wow,
to different
that's
worlds.
crazy.
Yeah, because
I mean, but when he
Rogue's
loses
all like,
his powers, how
well,
can they hook up? Is it the whole
later
point
in
of
the
Rogue?
comics, Rogue gets control over her power, and so I'm hoping that because you know we have the benefit of we've seen Rogue in several movies. I don't know if it has to be the same Anna Paquin Rogue, but you know I feel like she's a little bit older now. Maybe she's mastered her power. Maybe she's getting there, but not quite. And there's a scene where she's like, "Do you trust me?" And he's like, "I don't care. I want you so bad. I love you so much.
My name's Nightcrawler.
My name's Nightcrawler." Yeah, he's gonna be like. But the thing about this Nightcrawler is he's gonna be like the beastly version. Oh, this thing is really dipped into frame. It's gonna be like the beastly version. It's been a little while, but
Has it?
I think so.
This is podcast gone wrong.
It's okay. It's okay.
If you made it this far in the video, since we're 20 minutes in, it's safe to tell you guys now we are filming this on 420.
Yes, but even so, I mean, yeah, there would be tension there. But he's gonna be a Nightcrawler, but not like, okay, you know how Alan Cumming Nightcrawler and Cody Smith McPhee Nightcrawler are pretty like creature like. I'm gonna have this be like a beastly type of movie where he's Nightcrawler, but he's sexy Nightcrawler. You know, like the designs on his skin and the blue complexion are just like, you know, quirks, but that highlight his. I love that we're going off road with this. That highlight, you know, and accentuate the contours of his face and just make him look that much more beautiful. And yeah, there's going to be a scene where Rogue is like, you know, I don't know, I don't want to drain you of your life force. And he's like, you know, do you trust me? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, well, then let's go. And at first, yeah, she is absorbing his power, but then they start transporting through all the different worlds, and it's through this hookup that she's able to finally click and connect and gain control of her powers as they both orgasm in, you know, cosmic wonder. And yeah,
Damn, dude, that's some okay.
I really
That
wanna
makes me
play
think
up-
I gotta put some sexy in my story then too.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
There's going to be a big fight and all that stuff, but there's also going to be like really interpersonal dynamics.
All right. Okay, so mine, Hawkeye and Black Widow have children and they all die.
All right.
So their relationship is strained, and eventually, to get this is like that B story that feels very unnecessary for the movie, and it really is.
Yeah. Okay.
Is when Star-Lord and Black Widow start sleeping with each other, and then you do one of those shots in the movie where you see Hawkeye standing in the doorway, slowly leave frame because he knows now.
Okay.
So we get really sidelined by affairs.
Yeah.
You know, whatever it takes.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I like that.
It really won't ever come full circle because they just die. This never gets resolved.
I really hope that is a structural earmark of your Avengers world where you keep setting
there's
up
gonna be
stakes,
so much
and
setup,
stories,
and it just gets canned.
That all gets cut
They
short.
just get
like
killed.
set it up like it's all gonna mean something like, oh wow, and then just have this really staccato story.
Life is not a movie, and that's what Punisher represents here, is that we are destroying everything now because none of this shit is real or important, and we treat it like it's so important and that we need it. So Punisher wrecks it all.
Yeah, he's just a troll.
And so that's why in life, like, do you think most people who die completed everything they needed to or went through all the character arcs in their real life that they needed to? No. Punisher comes in, stops all the character arcs, gives us a dose of reality here.
Yeah, no more arcs, just great setup.
Yeah, and my movie would be directed by Nicholas Winding Refn. He would direct.
Just all heroes walking into frame, fists clenched, turning, doing like an about face, staring at each other for a while.
On a serious note,
Synth.
Nicholas Winding
Neon.
Refn would make a great Punisher standalone movie.
He would make a great fucking
He would make and that shit would be fucking disgusting. Like
Yes.
he would make a wonderful with Ryan Gosling playing the Punisher.
Okay. I know, I love it.
Dyes his hair. Actually, Ryan Gosling, if he didn't look, I don't know. I love him and everything. Yeah, but if you get like kind of that Blade Runner 2049 look of Ryan Gosling, not blonde hair, blue eyed, but like brown hair.
Yeah, a little darker.
He would actually make, and he could buff up. He'd actually make a pretty good Punisher. He's good at playing the lost, angry types.
He is. You just have to get jacked. That's
Look
all.
at that. We got more ideas than what you even asked for, Chris.
Yeah. I'm
So,
gonna have a
which
Terrence
idea-
Malick Punisher movie starring Adrian Brody.
Which idea? Closing arguments. Go
I didn't
for it.
even get to finish who all's hooking up in my movie. I mean, like, I feel like Spider-Man would be hooking up with no. Closing arguments. I think this is a good Avengers team. I wish I'd picked a better villain because I've had like 3 villains laid out here. One of them is very meta, a la The Last Action Hero. One of them is from the DCEU, and or the DC universe at large, anyway. And one of them is, metaphorical. So I don't really know if I can argue I have the better movie here. I just have an arguably good Avengers team that I like and also think would be a pretty good Avengers team.
Okay.
I think your movie is way better than mine because I want to
you
see the
can't
shit out
concede.
of that movie. Oh, well,
Okay. Okay. My movie may not be as wide in variety as expected, like what John Humphrey has put down here.
Hey.
Because that is what we would that's more along the lines of what we'd expect to see. Who would expect your final Avengers movie to be the movie where you have some of the most least praised of characters at the MCU? Because we all like or love all these characters that I listed, sure. But at the same time, they're not the ones you'd expect to be the final one standing. And this ain't the final villain you'd expect to be standing. And what's more inspiring than having relatable people go up against a relatable villain? Because if we need real, we're always being like, you could be a hero too, little boy. You could be a hero too, little girl. But it's like, unless I get bit by a radioactive spider or get hit by a tesseract blowing up, I'm not going to be able to have any of these cool abilities, But these are people who have worked hard, trained hard, developed these skills over years and years of training.
All right, my new team is going to be Coulson, Kobe Smulders, Agent Peggy Carter.
John, please. That is the follow-up to mine, all right? Nick Fury will be in yours. So yeah, that's and then it ends with a little boy being able to telekinetically grab a broom as he looks off into space.
Ooh, Magneto.
You have no idea what I just did, do you?
No.
It was The Last Jedi.
Oh, hey. Oh, yeah, that's right. He does do that, doesn't he? Because the Force is out there still.
Yeah, but Rise of the Skull. The mic's back into the frame this whole time. How long is it?
I think something has come loose up there.
I didn't realize how long this mic has been in frame.
I think something is loose and it is drooping.
One thing
as a
is
result.
for sure. You guys have not enjoyed this podcast as much as we've had filming it.
Yeah.
But if you made it this far, I'm glad you're here. Chris,
Greg wins the podcast.
I don't win the podcast,
Yes, you
John.
do. You came up with a way more entertaining.
There's probably a way
podcast.
where you and I can meet halfway.
Okay.
And be able to combine our ideas.
Yeah.
Like, I like the idea of like Rogue and Black Widow hooking up in my idea. Because
well, I was
they're
gonna
two
say.
women.
See, here's the thing: is
And-
I was thinking we could get since I have alternates, we have so many possibilities here. All right.
Sure.
Because think about it. I think Spider-Man and Jessica Jones could work, and that's not crazy. But what about like Luke Cage and Doctor Strange?
Like them hooking up?
Yeah,
Dude.
how cool would that be? Or Luke Cage and Spider-Man, because they're both from New York.
Yeah, but okay, Spider-Man would definitely be older at this point, right?
Yeah. He wouldn't be like a teenager.
I'm still thinking of teenage Spider-Man.
I'm thinking of a grown Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and I don't know. Not everybody is their exact actor, but that one is.
Look, guys, I'm trying to find the name of Chris Malou's channel so we can close this out. And I just can't remember.
Isn't it called May You?
Yes, you're right.
Yes.
And that's probably the way you pronounce his actual last name.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it makes sense now.
I think it's got 2 Y's in it.
Ooh, no, Mayu's a singer.
Yeah, I know.
Guys, we're trying to keep this as professional as possible.
This is
No Dead Space. This ain't fucking Mr. Rogers. John, keep us entertained.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Who else can hook up in this story? I mean, if I go with Storm instead of Doctor Strange, Luke Cage and Storm would be cool.
Also, Punisher and Daredevil would have a fight on top of the Empire State Building, and it would be it would be raining.
Okay. I mean, I would have my movie be one long take. I would have my movie just be one long take. Just like instead of like a one take fight, one take movie.
Oh, mine would be 2. It would.
Oh, that's cheating.
Some might say it's an impossible
Stealer.
challenge. This mic has progressively gotten more in frame.
I'm going to go adjust it.
Yeah, so we could close this out properly. I know how to find Chris's channel. I just gotta. Okay, don't worry, guys. I know you all really want to go to Chris's channel. By the way, all this is your shout out in this video, Chris. I hope you're okay with that. As I told myself, this was going to go over 30 minutes, and we've gone over 30 minutes doing a lot of nonsense here, and I'm really sorry.
Hey, man, we're going off road, and it's fun.
It is. This is his name.
It's. I mean, his channel.
His banner is me.
Is May You MAYYOU, but his name, with 2 L's and OUX.
Look, guys, he has this great segment called Nostalgia where it's not a let's play, but it really kind of goes into like an in-depth review discussion, some great editing for video games he really loves. So I think you guys should go check it out.
Yeah, he covers the re-releases in HD.
So thank you, guys. How would you better our ideas for these movies?
Take our teams and pitch your own.
What would be your Avengers lineup and your story idea? Which one of these ideas did you like more? Why? By the way, I'm not saying choose one of these to answer. I'm saying answer them all.
Yes.
If every comment is not a paragraph, I'm going to be upset.
I expect an essay.
Yeah, as much as
a creative
possible.
writing assignment.
Yeah, how would you what did you like about our ideas, and what would you change about our ideas but keep? Subscribe to The Real Rejects. Click that notification bell. You could check us out on Patreon. I'm sure this was worth Chris's time. And we'll see you guys later.
Peace.